Hey guys, Jason here again. So it's your first time to my channel, welcome. You've been here before, welcome back. I've got a few jobs lined up for this sim this time, so let's just get cracking in. So where are we? From last upload, I haven't got the chance to get back to the front end yet because I'm still waiting for the bushings. So I didn't see the point of continuing on that there because I can't. On this side here, I haven't stripped it, so I can get that done this time. And hopefully by the end of this upload, the bushings will have arrived and I can get them put in. My carburetor hasn't arrived yet either, so I'm waiting for kind of in the limbo for those things. I could take the old carburetor off, but I don't really want to do that just yet. So what I do have is I have a length of this this hose here. This isn't new hose, this is old, well not old but second hand. It's actually what it was used for before, was it was used for a pressure washer hose, and it's actually a PTFE lined hose. It was used for a steam hose, and yeah, it's seen a bit of life, but it for what we want to do, it will be perfectly adequate. So I've got a good length of this here, and I should be able to go to the front and the back of the car with this. The only issue I have is I don't know if I'm going to be able to use a Jubilee clip around this PTFE hose and make it seal. So I've got some old fittings over here that we might be able to adapt and hydraulically press the hose on it. But first thing I need to do is get the old hose off, and I've already drained, started draining, well no, I've drained it now, the fuel tank into this can, and there really wasn't a lot in it. There was maybe 3.5 litres in it there. So I can now pull this off here and see if we can make that hose here seal on the wee tail that's on this aluminium tank. If it doesn't seal, we're going to have to cut a bit of rubber hose first and then hydraulically press a hose tail into this here, so we'll have something to press against. But I think that'll be a nice hose for the underside of the car. It's PTFE lined, as I said, but slightly stained on the inside, but we'll put a filter in it and it'll catch everything, because I don't think it has the filter at the minute. But yes, that's the first job I want to do, and the main reason I'm doing this here now is because, well, one, it'd be nicer to have new fuel lines when I put the new carb on, but two, I also want to get this in, so if I have to press hoses I can get this all done now, because I have a hose pressing work. So let's get this mocked up and see what we can do. We might get lucky here and this hose will seal on this here, but I'm not counting on it. Might seal. If it seals, I've got some heat shrink to put at the end of this hose to make it a lot nicer. But okay, so that might work actually. Quite happy with that then, because I was concerned that that wasn't going to seal. But I think it is. That's perfect then. So I can now, pretty much this is going to be even easier than I thought it was going to be. And now I know I can get that to seal on there. The plan now is I'm going to pull out all the original lines, and then I'm going to tap the holes that are in the chassis already, M6, and then I'm going to use P-clips to hold these lines down the chassis, and then we can get it all ran, and that's pretty cool. So it's been a few days later since I recorded that last clip there, and I have sort of ran these fuel lines. You can see the feed goes around. We're going to P-clip this up. I've already put a few P-clips along the chassis. I've welded basically M6 nuts or bolts on. We're just going to put them up, put the flake on, put a nut on it. So this is all ran. I've got them sort of routed. I haven't done the return yet. I need to cut the length. So I'm not overly concerned about that fuel system. I can work on that in the evenings. It's not going to take that long. But it's the weekend now and I've got a few hours to kill. Oh, not to kill, but a few hours to get stuff cracked out. So I do have my new carburetor is here. How good it's going to be, I don't know, but it looks like it's the same and it's going to fit. It came with a manual choke. Like, the price of a manual choke kit on its own is pretty much nearly the price I have for this carb, so if it comes to it, we'll have to put the old one back on. We can still use this, but we're not going to work at that either, because I want to get this front suspension put back together again. But instead of just replacing the top bushings that I said I was going to do last time, I bought a full kit because there's a bit of play in the bottom end as well, right? And if I go to the other side to show you, when you have the wheel on, even without the wheel on, you can rattle the bottom in and out, and I don't want that, so that's why I bought a full kit. And I'm just going to put a full kit on both sides. So I want to get this all stripped today, both sides, get these all cleaned and painted up, ready to be put back on again tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, but later on. If the paint's dry for tomorrow, I will do it tomorrow, but I'm feeling the paint not be properly dry. And then I've been messing around a bit more with the hydraulic suspension. So I've got some steel here. I know this is pretty old gross steel, 50 by 50 box, but it's very pitted. But I was given this for free, so I think we're going to try and use what we can. Not all of it is gross, but it should do our job. I clean it up, and by the time we paint it, it's going to be underneath wood anyway. So this is just a subframe that's going to sit in the rear here. So that's going to sit from right from the back to about here, and just to level this bed out completely, so we can put the spring box in, put the battery on one side and the what's called the pump in the other, and it should be pretty mint. So another thing I've done is I've came here and assembled this spring box. So this is the spring box I have. This is a combination of two spring boxes made into something that might work. They actually cleaned up quite well. I say it's still got rusty stuff in the edges and all, but it might get a wee skid of paint. Or just leave it as it is, because, well, I'll just blend in with the rest of the car. And things don't have to be perfect in this car, they just have to work. So yeah, that's part of the puzzle for this hydraulic suspension. And the pump, obviously. And then I have 4 rams that I think are going to work. Yeah, so this is one I've made. So I've got an eyelet on both sides, and this is the other 3 that I haven't done yet. But I made this here just to see if it was going to work. So I'm going to make 2 of these for the rear. I suppose I can make all 4 now if we're going to take the front suspension apart. Yeah, I'll make all 4 as well. But I have pretty much a lot of the prep work done for this here. So I have bushings. I've only got enough bushings to do 2 at the minute. So these are the bushings I bought for the upper arms. And what I've done is made all these sleeves. Do need to deburr the inside line one still. And then I've made this. So this is going to be my bushings, and there's going to be one of these cut down up the center, like this. It's quite tight. Like that, and that'll be my bushing. So I just need to clean some of the galv off this here when we're welding it on, and we'll be good to go. So we have 6 more to weld on. For this one I used a bolt, a big thick bolt that had a flanged head on it, but we'll just weld, for this time we're going to put that on there. We're going to put that on there like that. Weld it from the underside first, weld it on the outside, and then weld this whole thing onto the base of the rams like this. But I say I'm not going to do that just yet either, because I want to get the suspension stripped so I can get it painted, and then we can start doing all this extra work. Right, so I ended up going a bit overboard in this here and taking this one completely apart and just painting everything and putting it back together again. The paint's still kind of tacky, but it's going to be under the car and it's going to be rusty in no time anyway. So I have that all done. I tightened this up by, well, first of all, I thought it was going to be like the MG where there's a rod here and it goes right up and then it's held by a bolt or something, but apparently that's not the case. There's a thread on the underside of this here and this just screws into it. So I managed to get an extra turn out of it, which tightened everything up real good. So, well, I haven't tightened this bit properly yet, but you can see that it doesn't have any play compared to, see, this one here is really bad. Right, compared to what I've done to this one. That's going to be lovely to drive now. Obviously I need to tighten this up, but I'm pretty sure I can't tighten this up until I get it in the car, because this one here is locked in that position, so I'm not sure. I'm going to do a bit of googling on that. So yeah, all these bushings are in here. There's new bushings, like wee plastic sleeves here, the new bolt here, and it's just all stripped and painted, and this is tight. So I was going to put that in there now, but I can't put it in because, oh, also the drop links are all good in these as well, so I'm not going to go replacing them there. But yes, let's go back to the car and I'll show you what's going on. Right, we're back in the car, and I was going to put the suspension in, but then I thought, no, I'll leave it out, because this area here of the outrigger is completely rotten. I don't particularly want to take the body off to get this, so I'm going to make something work here. So there's a bolt here, right? I don't know if it's doing much, to be honest with you, but I'm pretty much going to try and make a repair section for this here that I can weld in mostly, and try and just do something that's going to be better than what's there, because someone has tried to repair it in the past, but obviously we know by the repairs on this car that people can't really repair stuff very well, or any car I ever buy it has repairs on it in the past, that it is always a shambles. They're down my face. But yes, I'm going to cut this out now. I think the other side isn't much better. Someone's actually tried to repair the other side more. It's actually worse. But yes, I'm going to strip this here now and see what's going on. Well, without taking the body off, this is actually quite hard to do because I can't weld the top. So I've tried to add enough strength in it as I can, basically. So I basically used a bit of box section and boxed from here to here. Then I welded up as far as I could get here, and then closed it up with this 5mm plate right across here, and it's fully seam welded all around. And then underneath I've got it welded, this here section here repaired, and then up there that's welded to it as well. It's definitely better than any of the other repairs that we've done on the outriggers in this here. I'll show you the other side. Yeah, so this is the repair on the other side. Pretty much roughly the same idea, actually, only executed poorly. And it goes to, look at this, there's nothing filming me. Yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side and this side, just so they're matching and that they're both equally as strong as each other. But I think what I've done is going to be okay. And without the suspension assembly, you got a lot more room to play here. So yeah, I'm going to do that again on this side, pretty much the exact same thing, and hopefully we'll be done with this soon. After I finished that outrigger last night then, I just went in the house because it was stinking. I just didn't want to work anymore. So I came out this morning, or this afternoon, sorry, and I've got this hub stripped and put into paint. All the ball joints are good up here, and I just give this all a quick wire wheel and slap some, bare metal paint on it. It doesn't take that long to get to be touch dry, so I can get that assembled this afternoon hopefully. This one here is sitting ready to go in, but I'm not going to put it in because I'm going to go repair that other outrigger while that paint's drying. I'll just give it a bit more time to dry. And yeah, so let's go look at this outrigger again. And I already knew this one had been repaired badly even when I went to see the car. So it is pretty crusty, and I'm just going to cut out probably back to here in this one, and then we'll just start reassembling. The other one where I put that box section in, I've actually cut out the bolt that holds up the body on, so I'm going to put a new bolt down through that there, and that should hold the body on that side hopefully. This here may be a bit trickier, but we'll see what I can do. I'll get this cut out first and I'll come back and show you my battle plan for repairing this. So I have this previous repair cut out now. This is it here. pretty much someone just got some flat and kind of enclosed what was there. Didn't cut out the old stuff, just kind of boxed it in. So what I've done is I've slid this box in here. It's actually in there pretty tight. I would slide it out and show you, but I can't get it out now. So I pretty much cut out as much rot as I could get there. There was a hole here, like a wee, it was just starting to come through. So I used a die grinder and made it into like a 20mm hole. So it's all good metal around it. I'm not too concerned about that because this isn't a forever repair. This is just, I want to make it stronger than it was. So I'm hammering this in here. I'm gonna pull this down as best as I could, or best as I can, sorry. Weld up as much as I can here, all along here and all along here, and then we'll cap the end in. I'm gonna pretty much weld this bit in first. Maybe get a bit of angle or something, or just make a patch that sits in here and welds the right rigger to this outer rail. And then I want to make another box here. So there is no bolt for the body mount was here. I'm gonna put it through here and kind of sandwich it in there. Let's see, I can get that to move, but I can't get the slide. And then we'll bolt the chassis to this here, same as the other side, and then we'll cap out here as well, and just try and make it as strong as possible and make it look good. Well, not, I say good, I'm gonna make it look like it's strong, and the both sides being kind of matched, it'll be alright, I think. Like, no one's gonna see it. I just want it to be strong, and so you can see all the previous repairs down this end here. I'm gonna maybe have a look down there as well, because if I'm gonna repair this, I might as well repair all the rest of them. Though I have repaired one down there, I think. I don't know, but we'll get this done now. I'm gonna weld this up. This will probably take me half an hour or so, but I won't record it. I'll just show you what it looks like when it's done. Just finished welding this. It's actually quite hot. I actually just burnt my finger on it like a dickhead, but we have underneath, you can see there's a bit of box section here, bit of box section here. Never mind the welding. I'm not great at upside down welding, but that's fully seam welded in everywhere. And then this one's welded in as far as I can get. I actually was able to pull this down and weld it probably 3/4 of the way out the side of this here, and then followed it round, and then just kept on coming along here. And then camera in the front, enclosed it up real good. I don't know if I'm happy with it, but I know it's going to be strong. To be honest, yeah, to repair all these things, it would probably be better just to take the body off the chassis, but I really want to have this on the road soon, and this is adequate for what we need to do, and it's way better than where is it? I don't know where it is now. Oh, here. Way better than this, and someone was driving on the road with this here, so my repair is going to last way longer than that one. Like, this is still lasting, it's just shade. Okay, well, we'll go have a look at the suspension bits now, see if they have dried, and maybe put that together. So I'm just going to press these lower control arm bushings in. I've already pressed this one in. Pretty much just putting a wee bit of grease on it to help me get it in. Pop it in by hand mostly, but once it starts grabbing, right, and once you get it in that far, you get a socket. It'd be much easier if you had two people. And boom. Right, so there's a few bits and pieces of this one. I'm actually going to clean up in there a bit more. So these go on like this. I have that one there, put that in, and there's no ring goes on the outside. Put the ring on afterwards. Don't know what the ring's have to do, mind you, but there we go. A bushing that goes in the side of that, so that goes up there. Oh, there you go. She's in. How am I going to do this without scratching my fresh paint too much? And then I need my lower bushing thing. This here. So this here, I got an extra rotation out of this here, which took all the slop out of it. Because before it was like, well, I'm not going to screw it all the way down because I need to grease it, but it was all, see that there, it's slapping about like that. That's the way it was before. But then I put that on first. What I done was basically just got a shifter, turn it around one more time, and it still turns the exact same amount both ways, so it's not that tight, but it took all the slop out of it. So I'm happy with my outcome of that there. That's probably too much grease in there, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll put some around there as well. All the grease. Can't get it on, it's so much grease. I think these are reverse thread. Well, yeah, the other side was reverse thread. This may not be this side. No, it's not. Right, let's get it screwed in. I can turn it by hand, it's not that tight, you can't turn it by hand. So. But it definitely doesn't have any rock in it now. Anyone, there's grease everywhere on these. So I think that's called the trunnion, but I'm not sure. I think it's called the trunnion down here. That's lovely. No doubt it's wrong, but it's tight. That's all that matters. Okay, this has to go into that orbit now. This is where the fun begins. I don't know if that's the way you're meant to do it, but it worked. So we'll just try and take some of those excess grease away, because there's a lot of it. I found that casting nut underneath my shifter, so I'm ready to put this back together again. I have nipped it up a wee bit, and we have taken the play out that was there, I think, well, 95% of it, so I'm happy with that. So next up I have this thing here, so I'm not sure what way it went, but I think it was like that, or was it the other end? I'm not sure. Right, put that in like that. Put some fresh grease around that one right here. Should I might actually send them here. I'll clean that old grease off. Where's my brake cleaner? Right, and then, God, so much grease. Actually hate touching grease. Right, oh, I need to put my brake shield on maybe. I think this might go on one of the hubs on anyway, but we'll just put it on now just in case. So that goes up. Doesn't it? That goes to there. This goes to that bolt there. Right. And then my hub. I haven't touched any of this, so I'm just going to put it all back the way it came off. Oh, where's the slice? Yo. We'll adjust this later. Just nip it up for now. Alright, what I want to do before I put this back together again is I'm just going to clean this disc up and spray some, what's it called, high temp paint on the rusty bits on the disc and the red bit, just to tidy it up. But that's pretty much assembled, ready to go in the car. Probably would have been easier if I had left that hub off to actually get this on. I might actually do that, you know, pull the hubs off so there's less weight to have to wheel about. Right, I'm going to do that again, take that off and then bring these over to the car. I've got these control arms and the hub and everything assembled now. I was going to record it, I did record a wee bit of it, but there really wasn't much to see and it was a lot of me fighting and cursing and you wouldn't want to watch it. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't worth watching. So this is where we're at. I have everything in. Some of the stuff needs nipped up and I haven't got split pins or anything in it yet. But it's assembled and we appear to have no play in anything anymore, which is lovely. I've got new universal gaiters on the steering rack. So this is all pretty much done now, apart from like making sure everything's tightened up and putting split pins and things and greasing everything back up again. But another thing I want to show you here is 2 seconds. So this here is a mock-up for running the hydraulic suspension. This is a 20mm ram. I have ordered 25mm rams for the front, but you can see this is pretty much how it's going to work. My design seems to be acceptable. What I have to do in my final design when my new ram comes, I'm going to put my port here. So as long as I relocate my port here, we can bring the hose down and round. Might even be able to put it on the inside, but we won't know until we get the ram. And then we'll run that there hose along the inside of the chassis, well not the inside of the chassis, the inner chassis bit, and bring it up into the boot floor, and I'll show you that now. And this is pretty much how it's going to be. This will obviously come forward to probably here, but if I bring that forward, the whole thing tips over. So for now it's just sitting there. I think I told you about this rusty steel before, but I'm quite excited about this. I also have one of the rear rams in here for the hydraulic suspension, and that's going to work as well. So I'm quite excited for this whole hydraulic install upload. I'm glad I got all them suspension brushes changed in the front because that was disgusting. I'm glad I got those areas repaired on the outriggers, and I can't really remember what else I've done this time. It's a slow, steady process, this whole carry on, but we got some hydraulic suspension work done too. That was nice. We got some of the fuel lines done. Yeah, I got to make a list and just start ticking them off again. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one, where this thing is gonna hopefully be running. Maybe.